So my view is that it is time to reciprocate. This Senate should adopt a position that MTN, a South African company that is cutting away millions of dollars from Nigeria every day, that Nigeria nationalize it and withdraw its license, so that Nigeria company can take over the MTN business and recruit more people. Those coming from South Africa will find good jobs working with the company that will replace MTN. And I know that South African president has interest in MTN. The second is that we ask the Minister of Communication of the federal government to revoke the DSTV, which is also a South African company that is cutting away millions of dollars, even abusing, resorting to practices that will not even be accepted in South Africa. I don't want this Senate.
A wave of anger and deep concern is spreading across Nigeria after troubling reports emerged about the killing of a Nigerian surgeon in South Africa during renewed anti-foreigner tensions. For many Nigerians, this is not just another headline, it is a painful reminder of long-standing fears about xenophobic violence, the safety of Nigerians abroad, and the urgent question of how much longer this cycle can continue. According to reports and local accounts, the Nigerian medical professional was allegedly caught in unrest linked to growing hostility toward foreign nationals in parts of South Africa. While some details are still being clarified, the incident has sparked outrage across social media, public discussion spaces, and within communities who believe Nigerians living and working abroad deserve dignity, safety, and equal protection under the law. Before we go deeper into this story, if you believe every Nigerian life matters anywhere in the world, take a moment to like this video. Share it so more people can hear what is happening. Subscribe for balanced updates that matter, and drop your thoughts in the comment section because your voice is part of this conversation. What makes this situation especially emotional is that the victim being described in reports was not just any traveler or visitor. This was someone in the medical field, a professional whose work was built around saving lives, caring for patients, and contributing positively to society. That is why many Nigerians are reacting with shock. Many are asking a simple question. If trained professionals who go abroad to work honestly can still become victims of violence or targeted hostility, what does that say about the wider safety of ordinary Nigerians living there? To understand why this story is hitting so hard, we need to look at the bigger picture. Tensions around immigration in parts of South Africa have been building again in recent weeks. Protest actions, public anger over unemployment, economic hardship, and frustration over pressure on public services have created an atmosphere where foreigners are increasingly blamed for wider national problems. Migrant rights groups have repeatedly warned that this kind of blame can quickly turn dangerous when entire communities are treated as scapegoats. And this is not happening in isolation. Reports show that many Nigerians in South Africa have already been living with growing fear. In recent days, Nigerian officials confirmed rising concern over threats to citizens, and dozens have reportedly requested voluntary return assistance because they no longer feel secure. That alone tells a powerful story when people begin choosing to leave jobs, homes, and years of hard work behind simply because they fear for their safety. It shows how serious the atmosphere has become. Across Nigeria, reactions have been intense but also deeply emotional. Some people are speaking from pain, saying Nigerians continue to make valuable contributions across Africa and beyond in healthcare, education, business, engineering, and trade, yet often become easy targets whenever economic frustration rises in host countries. Others are calling for calm, but demanding stronger diplomatic engagement, clearer protections, and visible justice when attacks happen. Many Nigerians also remember previous waves of xenophobic violence in South Africa. Those memories remain fresh. Businesses were destroyed, families were displaced, lives were lost, diplomatic tensions rose. There were calls for boycotts, protests, and stronger government intervention. So when another disturbing report surfaces, especially involving a Nigerian professional, it reopens old wounds and reignites national frustration. At the same time, it is important to speak carefully and fairly. South Africa is a country of millions of people, and many South Africans have openly condemned xenophobic attacks. Civil society groups, activists, community leaders, and ordinary citizens there have repeatedly spoken out against violence targeting foreign nationals. Many believe migrants are being unfairly blamed for deeper economic and political problems that require serious policy solutions, not mob anger. That distinction matters, because anger over violence should never become anger toward entire populations. The issue being raised is accountability: who is responsible, what really happened, and what steps authorities will take to prevent further attacks. Back in Nigeria, public pressure is likely to grow for answers. Citizens will want to know whether there will be a full investigation, whether Nigerian diplomatic channels are actively engaging South African authorities, and whether stronger protections can be secured for Nigerians living, studying, or working there. Families with loved ones abroad are also watching closely, because for them, this is personal. And beyond politics, beyond diplomacy, beyond headlines, there is a human story here. A family grieving, colleagues shocked, a professional life reportedly cut short, dreams interrupted, questions left hanging. Pain that travels from one home to another, from one city to another, and from one country to another. If incidents like this are not addressed with seriousness, transparency, and justice, fear will continue spreading not just among Nigerians in South Africa, but among Africans across borders who believe the continent should be a place of opportunity, not suspicion. As this story develops, stay informed, follow verified updates, and keep the conversation thoughtful and constructive. And if this issue matters to you, like this video, share it with others. Subscribe for more clear updates, and leave your honest thoughts in the comments, because many voices together often push important issues into the spotlight. What also makes this situation more serious is the wider conversation it has started about how Nigerians are treated abroad, especially in countries where they have built communities, businesses, and careers over many years. Across different parts of the world, Nigerians are known for hard work, resilience, and the ability to adapt even in difficult environments. From doctors and nurses to engineers, lecturers, traders, and students, Nigerians have continued to contribute meaningfully wherever they find themselves. That is why stories like this strike such a deep emotional chord. Many people feel that when a Nigerian life is lost in circumstances linked to hatred or targeted hostility, it is not only a tragedy for one family, but also a painful blow to national pride and collective dignity. At the same time, there are difficult questions that need honest answers. Why does frustration in some communities so often get directed at foreign nationals? What social and economic conditions keep creating these dangerous tensions? And perhaps most importantly, what can governments do both in South Africa and across Africa to stop anger in struggling communities from turning into violence against innocent people? Some analysts believe economic hardship is one major driver. When jobs become scarce, when prices rise, when young people feel locked out of opportunity, anger begins to build. In that kind of atmosphere, blame can easily be shifted toward outsiders. Foreign nationals, especially visible communities involved in business or professional work, can become easy targets for frustration that was caused by much bigger structural problems. But blaming migrants does not solve unemployment. It does not fix weak infrastructure. It does not improve governance. It simply creates fear, division, and fresh suffering. That is why many voices are calling for leadership, not emotional reactions, but clear leadership. Community leaders need to speak against hate before it spreads. Governments need stronger protection systems for foreign nationals. Law enforcement must act quickly when threats begin to rise, instead of waiting until tragedy happens. And regional bodies across Africa must start treating xenophobic violence as a continental concern, not just a domestic issue inside one country. Because the truth is simple, Africans are deeply connected. South Africans live and work in other African countries. Nigerians do business across the continent. Students move across borders for education. Professionals relocate for better opportunities. Families are now spread across different nations. In today's Africa, no country stands completely alone. That means hostility toward migrants in one place sends a message far beyond its borders. It affects trust. It affects cooperation. It affects business confidence. And it affects the dream of a more united continent. For ordinary Nigerians watching this unfold, there is also a growing concern about safety for loved ones abroad. Families are making calls, friends are checking in, parents are worried about children studying overseas. Spouses are concerned about partners working in foreign cities. These are the quiet human realities behind every major headline. While governments may discuss policy, ordinary people are thinking about something much more personal, whether the people they love are safe tonight. And in moments like this, information becomes very important. Rumors can spread quickly. Emotional claims can move faster than verified facts. Social media can amplify fear, anger, and confusion in ways that make already tense situations even worse. That is why it is important for people to follow credible updates, wait for verified details, and avoid spreading unconfirmed stories that may increase panic or create misunderstanding. Truth matters, especially in emotional moments. If you believe stories like this deserve attention, take a moment now to like this video, share it so more people can join the conversation, subscribe for more thoughtful updates, and tell us in the comments, what do you think leaders across Africa should do to better protect citizens living abroad? There is also another important side to this story that should not be ignored: the contribution migrants make to the countries where they live. Many Nigerians abroad are taxpayers. Many employ local workers. Many support healthcare systems, educational institutions, and commercial growth. In sectors where skilled professionals are needed, foreign workers often help fill critical gaps. If reports surrounding this surge are confirmed in full, then the loss goes beyond one life. It represents the loss of skill, experience, service, and years of contribution that benefited society. That is why justice matters. Not symbolic statements, not temporary outrage, not headlines that disappear after a few days. Real justice means clear investigations, real accountability, strong public condemnation of targeted violence, protection systems that work before, not after harm is done. That is what many Nigerians are now hoping to see. And beyond government action, there is also a lesson for all of us about how quickly fear can divide people. It begins with suspicion, then harsh language, then blame, then hostility. If not challenged, that hostility can grow into something much more dangerous. History has shown this pattern in many places around the world. That is why communities must guard against language that paints entire groups as enemies. No nationality should be treated as a problem simply because of where they come from. At the heart of this story is a basic truth that should unite everyone. Human life has value, regardless of nationality, tribe, language, or passport. A doctor trying to heal others, a student seeking education, a trader building a business, a worker chasing a better future. These are people, not targets for anger. As Nigerians continue to react with grief, frustration, and concern, many will be watching closely for what happens next. Will there be clear answers? Will there be accountability? Will stronger protections follow? Or will this become another painful story that fades from public attention until the next tragedy appears? Those are the questions hanging heavily in the air right now. For now, many families are simply hoping for calm, truth, and justice. They are hoping for leadership over chaos, unity over hate, and humanity over division. Stay informed, stay thoughtful, and keep speaking on issues that matter. Your voice matters more than you think.